$5,000. That's everything Rick Hopper had left that he put into his first product. In 1 week, he turned it into $20,000. He thought he was done working at Home Depot forever. Then the phone started ringing. Every customer wanted their money back. The product didn't work as designed. That night, Rick went to bed. He cried until his eyes filled with tears. At 2 a.m, he heard a voice. It said, "Get up." Rick got up. The next morning, he walked into the shop that made the parts. He made him do it again. Rick's been on Shark Tank. He's sold 2 companies, been married 38 years, 2.5 those he wasn't allowed in his house. He's now helping and coaching other entrepreneurs. I'm glad to feature his story on episode 12, Revisited, of the Grit Mindset. Listen in and stay gritty. This is Matt Rosen, and this is the Grit Mindset with me, your host, Matt Rosen. The mission of the Grit Mindset is to inspire and empower listeners by delving deep into the journeys of those who have faced significant challenges and emerged stronger. Through authentic conversations, we uncover the mindsets, strategies, and lessons that have propelled these individuals to overcome adversity and achieve success. My aim is to provide actionable insights and real-world advice to help our listeners cultivate their own grit and navigate their personal and professional lives with confidence and resilience. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Grit Mindset with Matt Rosen. I'm your host. I have with me a special guest, Rick Hopper with Readerest. He makes these cool little devices that keep you from losing your glasses, but he's got an awesome story. I've known Rick for a good bit, and I'm really excited to welcome him to the Grit Mindset. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, but you said special guest. Define special.
Special is you've done a lot of really cool things. In fact, you're the only guest I've had so far that's been on Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah? Okay. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about your life as an entrepreneur. That's what we're here. This show's all about inspiring, could-be entrepreneurs, first time, maybe 10th time, or folks that are looking to take the next step in their career. This show's all about sharing life lessons to inspire them to become more than they are. So maybe tell us about yourself and Readerest and a little bit of your story.
Okay. Do you want me to start my story with little kid Rick?
Absolutely. Let's hear about little kid Rick.
Or drug addict Rick?
Both. Let's go from little kid to drug addict to successmal entrepreneur.
Okay, we will cover a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to talk about little kid Rick because I was a really shy little kid, and my mind developed in a way. I had a striking event when I was 15 that really took me out of my shell and gave me the confidence to actually sit in front of cameras and talk to folks. We'll get into that later, but I believe that my ability today to naturally have the grit that it takes to make things happen as a result of the way my mind developed as a kid.
Okay.
And we didn't have a lot. And I firmly believe, and anybody that's watching this show is probably watching other shows and is already fully aware that struggle is one of the most important development tools for human beings.
Absolutely.
And I had some struggle as a kid. We didn't have a lot. Had to be creative and had to be industrious. I think one of the most fun we ever had as a family is we would take a wad of paper. We'd take a piece of paper, wad it in a tight little ball. Somebody would grab a paper. We were watching sports or whatever. We have a family event, and somebody would go, hit it up in the air. 1, you hit it. 2, and the goal was to keep the wad of paper off the ground. After 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, people are diving across the room, screaming and yelling. The most epic fun you've ever had was with a wadded up wad of paper.
Yeah, I think they're making commercials of that with people hitting beach balls all over the place. So that was your idea.
And there's, I would get used bicycles from a what do you call it? A garage sale.
Yeah.
My dad would go get us a used bicycle at a garage sale, and it was heaven. Oh my God, we were so grateful for everything we had.
And I think you were telling me earlier you started with a lot of odd jobs like mowing lawns.
Sure, when you want to go do something or get something, I was mowing lawns when the lawnmower handle was as high as my face. I figured out how to get that lean forward and push that sucker through the grass, mow neighbors' yards and stuff. So I think struggle is really important. I think that hunger that drives people is really important. So do I get to take credit for my grit, my creativity?
I think so. I mean,
No,
define what.
no,
No.
I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think we get to take credit for where we were born, who raised us. I think what we do is we manage the cards we were dealt, and some people do a little better at managing the same cards. I mean, I have two brothers, 1 year older, 1 year younger. I would say that neither of them have had the success that I've had, and part of it may very well be because of the people that came into my life at certain times, came into my life and influenced me in a way that they didn't get influenced. And you know, I don't know how the recipe is created, but the recipe of Rick Hopper is an algebraic equation of my upbringing, my influences, my education, my choices, and it's a very specific recipe.
Well, you know, I think the environment can cultivate grit. I think there is an element of cultivating grit, even if you hadn't had the toughest upbringing. But I think what your story shares is the fact that you don't have to come from much to be a successful entrepreneur. You know, but there can be an element of luck meeting opportunity. So share with us a little bit about going from childhood. You got yourself in some trouble, but then emerged in a better place.
I was a good kid.
Yeah.
My mom, she's been gone for about 15 years, but she used to tell everybody that I was the kid that kind of raised himself. I would get in trouble in high school because I'd come home late from Bible study.
Yeah.
My mom didn't know how to discipline me for that.
Were you getting in trouble after Bible study, or you were literally coming just home late?
And what's crazy is you want to talk about if somebody that was a Christian. I would lead people to Christ in high school. Mm-hmm. I was a good Christian. I had my girlfriend was for 3 years. Her dad was a preacher. Mm-hmm. He used to make me memorize Bible verses. I wanted to go hang out with my girlfriend. He says, "Don't come back until you got this memorized." So I memorized Bible verses so I'd go hang out with my girlfriend. Anyway,
that's a good motivator.
So, incredible influence, and it was have a huge impact on me later in life when things really went south. I spent several years backsliding back to the point where I wound up strung out on meth. About 5 years after I got married, I tried smoking meth one time. What an idiot! Don't do it, not even once. Don't ever get involved with drugs. It took ownership of me for 2.5 years. I'm a 200-pound guy. I weighed 145 pounds smoking meth every day for 2 years. My wife kicked me out. I spent a little time on the street. I spent a little time in jail. It's kind of funny. I don't want to get into it, but if you use drugs, you're going to jail. Just leave it at that.
At some point.
So I got clean. I was done. A lot of people watch this like, well, dude, I understand addiction. I have a family member that's addicted. How did you get out of it? It's like, I was done. Now, I swear by Narcotics Anonymous. It got me from the gutter to the curb. I had to make all the choices after that to create some success in my life. But most people can't do it alone. They need to lock arms with some folks that know how to get clean and stay clean. Mm-hmm. So I did that. Went to Narcotics Anonymous, learned a 12-step program and applied it to my life. It was very powerful. So I went to work at Home Depot. I'll just give you the fast track how I went.
Perfect.
From little kid. Now, I tried to go to college twice. College isn't for everybody.
No, it's not.
I made it halfway through a semester both times. I'm not slow. School is slow, and I needed to go make money. That sounded just like the last time I said it, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Before the lightning struck.
That was right before the lightning strike. By the way, this is our second hack.
Second taping.
We had a lightning strike and blew this whole building off. Anyway, so I college wasn't my thing. I did really good. I was taking a lot of units, getting straight. I mean, I was doing really well, but I was going crazy because I didn't have a clear direction. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a goal. And I needed to go make money. So
what were you studying?
Everything and anything. Psychology, philosophy, general ed. Because I didn't have a specific goal in mind.
Got it.
I did not have the end in mind.
Left college, went to Home Depot. What happened after that?
Well, left college, went to work, went into construction.
Okay.
I got really good at closet organizers and doors and windows and finished carpentry and building kitchens, doing room additions. And I really love construction. I love construction. I just built a ranch up in Oklahoma.
Wow.
It's
cool.
I built built with my bare hands. After I sold my business, I had some time on my hands.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a minute. I went into construction. I met my wife, and we had 2 little girls, and I got strung out on meth. Can you imagine what kind of idiot kind of really abandons his family and picks chemical to change the way they feel over the people that love them? They love, like the whole world means. It's insane. It's insane. Well, that's not what this is about. This is about grit. Now, it did take some grit to come out of the gutter.
I bet it did.
For sure. But that was the same resolve that it takes to do anything productive in life. Is you have to have some serious guts and a serious hunger, serious motivation. So I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had everybody that mattered to me had kicked me out of their lives. I was alone in the world. There's no way I'd ever commit suicide. I'll kill 1,000 people before I kill myself, if you know what I mean.
Yep, I do.
That's not a death threat, by the way.
Someone look out.
But so I decided to get clean, and right after I got clean, I decided I needed a regiment, so I went to work at Home Depot.
Okay.
I got my college education at Home Depot. I learned business at Home Depot. This is the heydays of Home Depot in the mid to late 90s, up from 94, 95 to 2001. Home Depot stock was going up and splitting, and they're training, world-class training. I grew up in that. It was a great experience. 6 years into Home Depot, we had bought, my wife had took me back, miraculously. She wanted nothing to do with me because it was terrible. But about a year and a half after I got clean, she took me back. We've been, this week, it'll be 38 years we've been married.
That's awesome.
We should get double points for those 2 years we were separated.
Yeah.
But we, so at Home Depot for 6 years, and then I got mad. So a lot of people will think, well, how'd you come up with your ideas?
Yeah.
And so like your intro said, hey, Rick Hopper, Shark Tank, I got this thing right here. Well, before that, I had developed a line of products. Am I doing all the talking? Is that okay?
No, this is perfect. This is all about you. This
You asked
is the
me a
Rick
great
Hopper
question,
show.
apparently. So, and while I was working at Home Depot, I bought our first place, and I Home Depot wasn't enough money to pay my bills and raise children. So I was doing what I do best on the evenings and weekends. I was doing doors and windows and making good money. I got mad in January of 2001. I got really mad at the window industry for not developing a product that I needed as a window installer. So all the money I've really made in my life was a result of Rick Hopper solving a problem for Rick Hopper. Just so happens to be there's millions of people that can benefit from the solutions I create for myself. Sorry, I hit your microphone. So I developed a product called Trim Quick.
Trim Quick, okay. What does it do?
It's peel and stick window trim for replacement vinyl windows.
Okay.
Very niche-y. My only customer was window installers that were replacing new vinyl windows into old window frames.
Got it.
Very niche-y. But there are riches in the niches. There are riches in the niches. And that's pretty much all I've ever done is niches. I've never done anything big like you, bro.
I don't know about that. So I try. So you developed this window trim product. You sell that, or what happened with that?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the very short version of the story. I brought in a business partner who really in the beginning had no interest in the window trim. Matter of fact, he told me, you're crazy for doing this because there's no way you'll make any money at it because the window companies, as soon as they find out you're making money, because on paper, before I really got going, it looked great, but his concern was the window manufacturers will just start manufacturing the product that we're making and just cut us right out of the deal. Well, there was a real risk there. Well, it didn't happen. So he came in, he sold his landscape company, and we worked together for a few years, and it ended poorly. It was I took about probably 25 cents on the dollar of what the company was worth, and I had to get out of there.
What lessons can you share with the audience about what happened there? Is there something you could have done different that led you to a different result?
The only ship guaranteed to sink is the partnership.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't have to be true. Everything, other partnerships that I've done since then have been either not 50-50, or if it is 50-50, David Hammer has a clause that he puts in every deal. It's a Texas shootout. and it's powerful. What happens is if there's a disagreement, or you know what, for any reason, partnerships, everything ends. Everybody starts a partnership off, holding hands, everybody's in love, and they're going right along. Well, at some point, somebody changes their mind. Somebody has an event that changes their heart. Their motives change.
Right.
Their whatever. And somebody wants out, or somebody wants it all. That's okay. Everything changes and everything ends. So if you take a scenario where you don't have to even appraise the company to see what it's worth. If somebody wants it, or somebody wants you out, or somebody wants out, you make an offer. So the person making, the shootout clause?
No, I know David Hammer, but he never covered the shootout
yeah, no,
clause
this is
with me.
amazing. This is a great tool. I put it in every deal. So you take the offering party, say, I want to make you an offer. Me making you an offer for the company puts you in the driver's seat because you get to choose whether or not you take the money or you buy it from the person making the offer for the amount that they offered. Self-purifying process. Isn't that great? So that's great. I would say, to answer your question, the biggest learning experience with the partnership breakup would have been if we had determined every 6 months to have a conversation about the relationship and the business, the direction of the business. Do you want stay in? Do you want out? Who should we sell? Should we continue to grow? How fast should we grow? Should we, have a conversation about it? Because if you when you start a relationship in business, if you go, hey, listen, we're going to go down this highway together, but we're going to predetermine there's going to be a bunch of off ramps.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, we're going to get off every 6 months. We're going to get off and have a conversation. If one of us wants to stay off and the other one gets back on and keeps going, great. If we want to get back on together, we can get back on together. So that would have been a really healthy thing to factor in.
That's really wise counsel. And there are a lot of great partnerships out there. I personally decided to start my business without one. I felt like that was the best path, and I think if you can do it, it's a great way to go. But others like to have people around them that complement, their strengths and weaknesses. So it can work, but I like having the Texas shootout clause, or again, just reevaluating the state of the relationship every so often. So you went on from that company and you started Read Arrest. And for those that can't see, I've got one of these awesome devices in my hand. I'm going to give it to my wife to have her readers with her always, because every time I go to dinner, she can't ever see anything. And we'll see if she listens and catches that I was making fun of her.
Our trade show booth has a big, giant words that says, "Where are my glasses?" Giant, "Where are my glasses?" Because that's the number one thing people say. And that's really the same thing. Rick Hopper solved a problem for Rick Hopper.
Yeah.
I had started wearing reading glasses. You put them in your shirt collar, and you bend over, they fall out.
Yep.
You put them in your pocket, you bend over, they fall out.
Or they end up in the toilet, something awful.
All the time.
Yeah.
I've heard every story imaginable now that we've been doing this for a while.
When did you start the company?
I got the patent in 2010, and I really launched at first of 2011. And then, I don't know if you did mention I was on Shark Tank.
I did.
I got lucky, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people, everybody watching this says, how do you get on Shark? I got an idea for a product. How'd you get on? How did you get on? I got lucky. I lied and cheated to get on the show. Okay, and I think everybody should.
So tell us about that.
Condoning bad behavior. Well, so I don't watch a lot of TV, so I'd never seen Shark Tank. In the third season was they were about to tape the third season.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but for about 6 months. So when I started in January, probably January 2011, I grew up in Southern California, and I started the company in California.
Okay.
And I wanted to test the market. Who's my customer? What's my price point? So I started doing trade shows like street fairs, farmers markets, gun show, golf show, home show, quilt show. I don't care. Wherever there was thousands of people walking down the street, I had my little booth set up, and people would throw money at me all day long. Oh my gosh, it was people. And I'd love to tell you some stories about how people react to the product, because it's the funniest thing because people walk up to your booth and they're looking at it, they don't know what it is because it's a new thing. And it's not like that it's not one of those. It's not another one of those. It's just, what is it? Where are my glasses? A lot of people walking down the street would look at the where are my glasses sign, walk by, and they're like,
Looking for their
they'll
glasses.
start subconsciously looking for their glasses. Anyway, while I was doing all these trade shows for 6 months, thousands of people said the same thing. dude, you got to get on Shark Tank. I'm like, okay, everybody but me knows about Shark Tank. Finally, I looked up, I did a little search. I watched a couple 2-minute snippets of the show, and I go, wow, this is really big. So I looked online. I figured out, I went to their website or whatever, and I looked at their process, and it was to submit your idea,
Right.
your product, whatever. So it said, attach a domain, a brief description, a domain if you have it, so they can look at your product, and then they said, do not send videos, do not send samples, do not, right? So but attach a picture of yourself. So in my email submission, in the body of the email, I said, if you want to see a picture of me, click on this link. It was a moving picture. Anybody that's over 30, I think they know what a moving picture means. It's a video, right under where it says don't send videos. Sure enough, a week and a half later, I get a call from the head producer. And first thing he says, this is so-and-so with Shark Tank. Nice video. I'm like, do you like it? He goes, yeah, actually, it was a great video. You got to know when and how to break the rules. I believe, and this, to some people this sounds arrogant. My wife hates this. But I personally feel like standing in line is for other people. I know how to jimmy the back door open, and I go around the back. I check knobs, I check handles, and I try, or I'll just go straight up and ask a question that'll get me through the door up front. I hate standing in line.
So rules are just suggestions, depending on who's setting them.
Rules are to keep the vast majority of people organized.
Yeah,
they really are. And there's certain times I will stand in line. It's usually with my wife, and just to honor her.
You don't pick 2 lines and see which one's completes
Well,
first.
we do that too. Sometimes it's a competition. One of us will be stubborn. I'm not coming over there. I don't care if yours is shorter.
We'll go with the line I picked.
That's how you get to 38 years of marriage.
So you went on Shark Tank.
Yeah, so I got on Shark Tank. It was luck. It was pure luck. So there's some things sometimes God does for me what I can't do for myself. I could have never worked my way into that. They get about 40,000 applicants every season, and this is back season 3. I think they're up to season 15 right now.
Like that.
So I lucked out, and they were taping 2 weeks later, and it was about a few days before I got in. There was a brand new shark, because I was thinking I did background checks on all the sharks. I studied all the who do I want to do business with when I actually do this. Who would I say yes to a deal with? So they call me, hey, we got a new shark on your episode. It's gonna be Lori Grenier, the queen of QVC. I'm going, ding, ding, ding. That's who I want to do a deal with. Yeah. Turns out she's the only one that wanted to do a deal with me too. So it worked out great. Went in very nervous, but it turned out to be a great episode. We get more reruns, I think, than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, we'll link to that.
Season 3, episode 6. If you want to watch my episode, it's like I think that's an hour-long show or something, and then we're the very last one in the show that day.
So where did things go from there? So you did a deal with Lori, got your product on QVC.
Let's talk about grit.
Let's talk about grit,
because that's the name of your show.
Let's talk about the grit that you went through to build this company.
Yeah, so that was I made some mistakes with the manufacturing. I made a potentially catastrophic mistake at one point. How much time do we have left? Anybody know what time it is?
Got about 10, 15 minutes, right?
Okay, I don't want to.
So let's start over. So you're on Shark Tank. Let's talk about the grit it took from your deal from Shark Tank to build Redirest.
So we couldn't make them fast enough.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about this. It's a little esoteric, but I'm gonna go over it. I've read some books back from the early inventors and these guys, Ford, Edison, Bell, all these guys. It's like they believed in God, but they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
They referred to God as infinite intelligence,
yeah.
and that they felt like they had direct contact with their abdominal mind. So you got your mind, you got your abdominal mind, which I call my soul, has direct contact with the creator of the universe. And I practice this meditation process of that's not a meditation of concentration. It's a meditation of total surrender turning it over to God. So I couldn't make these things fast enough. I could not come up with a better, faster, more efficient way to make them. So I did this meditation practice where I laid back in my office seat and I defined the problem, and I just literally passed it to my soul, and I laid back for about 15 minutes and just went to sleep. And I felt it hit me back. It came back, thump, pops on my head. I had this vision of this contraption with holes and grooves and a little tool that went like this. I grabbed a bunch of tools. In 20 minutes, I built a prototype of this rapid magnet placement process that was so fast. And I just took off. When I did my first sample run where I took a stack of magnets and I just went like this, I had a machine gun rapid placement, magnetic placement. I involuntarily took off running. I was crying because this incredible breakthrough of making them faster. Now that's not grit, but that was it happened.
Yeah.
The grit was when I had about probably 50 to 60% product failure because I originally was making these not with the plastic with the magnets inside. I was making them with a stainless steel oval backplate with the magnets glued to it. And as you can tell, they're so powerful. When those magnets smack together, it shatters the nickel coating and comes off the backplate. So I had massive product failure. Here's how you know you have a great product. When you get 2 or 3 calls a day from customers saying, hey, I love this product. What kind of glue can I use to fix it? They want to repair their own product.
Yeah. Versus return it.
Versus this thing sucks. It's, I love it so much I want to fix it. That's read arrest.
Got it. So we talked about grit, and it means something different to everyone else. What does it mean to you?
Well, it depends on if it's 80 grit, 120 grit, or 60 grit. That's sandpaper.
Yeah.
They all do different things. They make things smooth.
So you were in the construction business.
Yeah, that's what grit means to me.
Yeah.
It's like I prefer 120 over 150 if it's pine versus oak. For all you contractors, you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Or you're like, that guy's an idiot. Anyway, grit to me is when you have a massive product failure and you want to give up. I'll give you an example. When I started my window trim company, Trim Quick, I had my very first, I had $5,000 left over from when I bought my house. I was still working at Home Depot. I had $5,000 left over. And I bought $5,000 worth of adhesive and strips of plastic from a local extrusion guy. I told him exactly what I wanted, and he made something originally that wasn't the right shape, and it was falling off the windows. So my first few customers, I went out and sold $20,000. I turned $5,000 into $20,000 in a week. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is my big break. I'm going to be able to quit Home Depot, and I'm going to go make millions.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a millionaire, finally. What's that like, bro? Anyway, so my customers all started calling saying, hey, come get this stuff. I want my money back. This is terrible. So all of my customers hated the product. I went to bed crying. Literally, I'm laying on my back, tears rolling down my face into my ears, filling my ears with tears, laying on my back. My big break is over. About 2 a.m, I hear this voice. I've heard it 3 times in my life. This was get up. Every 4 or 5 seconds, get up. And it got louder and louder. Get up. I was tripping. So I throw the covers off. I stand up. My wife's sleeping next to me. I stand up next to the bed. I'm up. That was it. It was over. The voice was gone, but I was up. And then, but I knew what I had, the thought of what I had to do next became real.
You just had to get out of bed to make it happen.
I had to get up. So I got up, I got tears in my eyes just thinking about the 3 times I've heard this voice. So I go to my computer. I do a couple things. This is like beginning of computer days. It's 2001. I don't know if you guys remember computers.
Big old boxes.
Dial-ups. Boing, tang, like Chinese or something.
56K.
So the next day I knew what I had to do. I went down to this guy who had a big company. I was a nobody. He has tons of customers, has made millions of dollars. I'm a nobody. This kid working at Home Depot. I walk in there. I had a little sample of the product, and I handed it to him. I handed him my drawing that I had given him. I said, "Do you see a problem here?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I'm like, "What are you going to do?" He's like, "I'm going to make you all new stuff." I said, "I need you to buy the adhesive too because you wasted it." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Can you get it for me?" I said, "I can get it. I've already checked. I can get it today." I went over and picked it up. It was like in a different town over. Boom, grabbed the adhesive. He made this stuff. I grabbed all this new product that was made right this time because you can't put a radius surface onto a flat surface and expect it to stick.
Right.
Flat on flat with full contact adhesive works. And I knew the product was great because I sampled it out. So I immediately, within a couple days of all my customers being mad at me, I got on my horse and went and replaced the product with perfect product. They all loved it and became lifelong customers.
That's awesome.
Grit.
Yeah, that is some amazing grit. I mean, you were down and out. Customers were pissed. You got out of bed. You redesigned it. You made it happen.
You fix it.
Yeah. So for those that are out there listening that are thinking about taking the first step in their entrepreneurial journey, what do you recommend? What are some lessons learned you'd share with them?
Stay home. Just lay down. Just don't do anything.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. You can do it. There's a video of, I think it's, what's his name? The Do It video. It'll come to me in a minute. Do it. I'm so mad at Nike for stealing my phrase because that really just do it is so powerful. I would caution people to not chase after an idea unless they have the ability to be honest with themselves and they have people in their lives that will be brutally honest with them also. Because you go ask all the wrong people what they think. "Oh, that's a great idea. You should burn your life savings on that, brother."
Yeah.
So many bad ideas that it's a good idea, it's a good product, but you can't make money at it.
Right.
Or you can't, it's too difficult to process. Or the story is too hard to tell and you can't get people to buy in. I mean, there's so many reasons that a great idea becomes a bad idea.
Or even worse, you have people that dissuade you because they're scared of the risk for you and don't want to tell you to take that first step when that's the right thing to do.
You know, the entrepreneur is the person willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
If you're not a natural born entrepreneur and you don't have that, you're too risk averse and you don't have somebody in your life pushing you, you can't push yourself, man, it's a pretty serious recipe for success out there.
Yeah, you and I were both part of an entrepreneurial course, Biz Owner Ed.
Yeah.
Can you talk just a little bit about that, what that's done for you? And
Sure.
Share that
Biz
with our
Owners
listeners.
Ed is a Dallas-based, it's an in-person program in DFW area. We meet at Grapevine Convention Center once a year for 10 weeks. We do some events throughout the year periodically, but really it's a 10-week program where on Tuesday nights from 4 to 8 p.m., we bring in 3 speakers a night and from all walks of business. We usually spend the year interviewing business owners. There's some minimum requirements. You have to have a company that you can grow and scale and potentially want to sell. There's no ulterior motives. It's free. We don't trick you into anything, and everybody thinks like, well, what's the catch? I'm like, so the catch is the original founder, him and Jay and Betty Rogers didn't have kids, so their kids are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Their desire is to help serious, committed entrepreneurs grow and scale their companies. That's always been their passion. They've started 20 companies. They've sold them.
Amazing people.
They've done very well, incredible. So they fund the program, and it's incredible. So what we do is throughout the year, we interview 20 or 30 business owners, and we select 12. That's the class. And then anybody that didn't make the cut, or that might make it next year, or that just really isn't qualified, but they really have a desire to learn about business, they can sit in the gallery. So there's anywhere from 100 to 200 people in the room. There's a class that gets to interact with the instructors. We call them speakers, mentors, but we do have, it's more of a mentorship program than it is a curriculum. We don't have a real curriculum. We bring in experts from pretty much all walks of business, and they bring in their wisdom and experience, and they share it with the class.
Yeah, I think it's a great resource for entrepreneurs, and it's awesome that you're running it and encouraging others.
I'm going to interrupt you. Biz Owners Ed, if anybody's interested, we've had people fly in every week from New York or Florida to be in the class. They want to come, even though they're not local, they've got the money to come in and do it. Biz Owners Ed, B-I-Z, owners, plural, ed, bizownersed.org. Check us out. There's a join us button. You can apply for the class.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get a link to it in the post for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're running short on time due to the little lightning strike we had. But any other, kind of final closing thoughts you'd like to share or things you want to cover?
Yeah, when I do a fair amount of public speaking, and I always make sure, I always ask, hey, who wants to be a millionaire? And then I ask, who wants to be happy? And more people raise their hand for millionaire. It's weird.
Interesting.
I know a lot of really miserable folks that have a lot of money. And I'm the happiest guy I know. I laugh more than anyone I know. My tombstone is going to read, Rick Hopper. He could have made more money, but he couldn't have had more fun.
That's great.
And I think it's when you think about how you make people feel every day in every room you walk into. I know I can't change the world, but I know for a fact I can change every room I walk into by lifting people up.
Yeah.
I think that's really what life is.
Yeah, about lifting up others, helping them be successful. Well, Rick, it's been a pleasure having you on this episode of The Grit Mindset. Listeners, hopefully you took some good lessons away from mowing lawns to, an addict to Home Depot to starting 2 successful companies. Rick's got a lot of great stories he's shared and a lot of awesome life lessons. Thanks again for coming on. We'll make sure we get some links to Biz Owner Ed. And for those of you out there, stay gritty.